Good morning guys and welcome to another video, a Friday video with Bareham Engines. So guys, first of all, before we get involved, I want to apologise in advance if you're not a big Cosworth engine fan or you're getting a little bit sick of seeing the Cosworth stuff. I apologise because that's what I'm doing today. We've got a little bit of an update on the, well, a big update on the Series 1 Landrover scenario with the cam bearings, so we'll update you on that in a minute. But I just want to take this opportunity, guys, to thank you all regarding the last video where I mentioned my health, etc., and what's been going on. You all know I've been very honest with my physical and mental health and what is happening and how it's affecting me at work, etc. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all for being so supportive. It's amazing, not just through the comments, how many people sort of suffer with similar sort of things or have had past experience with things like this, but the people that have actually been in touch with me, and they really do genuinely seem concerned for me, and it's really good to chat to them. I actually had 2 or 3 people come in yesterday. One was down on holiday, he came in, he's a subscriber, been a subscriber from the beginning, fantastic guy. We had a good old chat yesterday with 2 or 3 people, and they all said, look after yourself, you know what I mean? What goes on up here is very fragile and you need to look after yourself, you need to concentrate and spend time on your family, take some time out. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. My New Year's resolution, starting from about now, is going to be exactly that, guys. I'm just going to obviously maybe ease back a little bit with the YouTubing, obviously still keeping you up to date, but just settle down a little bit, maybe give a little bit of video into Isaac to do, get him involved in it, and yeah, just sort of calm down a little bit with it, get into a little bit of a rhythm, do what I enjoy doing, which is obviously building engines. I do enjoy making the videos, but yeah, it's all the stress that comes with it. And who knows, in the new year, may look for someone to do a bit more of the admin. I did see a couple of comments where people suggested maybe get some tough old cookie in the office who can take some phone calls and deal with the side that I'm not too good at, I suppose, and take some pressure off me. So that's maybe what I'm going to do. But yeah, thanks ever so much, guys, for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Right then, guys, you can see I'm out today. It's nice and dry out here actually today, and still pretty warm, so I'm just outside. This block has been thoroughly cleaned. This is the 200 block for Matthew. I've wire brushed it down completely and obviously give it a thorough clean of the oil jackets and everything, because this is the one that I've done the machining for the oil jets at the base of the block, and obviously the 6 long studs. It's been bored to 1 mil because it was 0.5 already. Yeah, just removed all the paint, give it a lick of gloss black, and I'm just putting the studs in there now, but it's quite nice to just work outside, get a bit of fresh air. But what I thought I would do is just take this opportunity while the core plugs are out to show you exactly what I mean about these long studs, and machining a little bit deeper on these 2 on the opposing side to the oil jacket. So the oil jacket is there, goes through on this side, so obviously we can't go any deeper on the back 3. We don't need to go deeper on the centre one on this side, because obviously it's a solid casting, doesn't go through to the water jacket, so you can put that where you like. But if you have a look in here, you can see the lug at the base of the block on this side, on these 2. So fortunately it's just behind the 2 core plugs. You can see in there, that lug, basically you can see how I've drilled and tapped about 5 mil lower than the others. And this one here I've just put in, and you can see the top of that. These studs are designed so you can put them in a 5 mil lower on these, and when you put the seal in, you still got the step there, enough step to put the seal in over the stud. But what happens is if you don't go deeper and you do it to the top, what can happen, especially using the old Burton studs, or the studs that are sold in Burton that are slightly shorter, it can break the top of that lug off, and then you're in deep trouble then, because it just pulls the stud right out of the base of the block. So we just go 5 mil deeper. You've got plenty of room in the base of the block. You can't do it on the other side because you'll be through to the oil way. But yeah, so this block, guys, is all sort of prepped really. just get these studs in. I've got the bearings, I'm going to open those in a minute. Crank's all balanced, so I can get the crank in this and start dummying up the piston heights, etc. So look at this for progress, guys. The 200 block for Matthew is pretty much built up. We'll get in there. We've got the crank in, which obviously all clearances checked. Look, turns absolutely beautiful. Matthew, fortunately, has gone and bought some good quality. I don't mind when the customer does this, really good quality new bits. So we've got new front pulley, new auxiliary pulley there. We've got the vernier pulleys for the cams. Com rods are here all sized and balanced, etc., with the new bearings in and the new con rod bolts. So the stage I'm at now, you can see all the long studs are in with our seals in there. So the next stage, what I've done here is I've put a bearing, all the bearings in the con rods. I've just loosely put a piston on the rod without the rings. That's the ring set there. Put it down the bore just to measure our jut out. And what we've got, or how I normally measure it, is we pull it over to one side, just so we know that it stays still and doesn't move when you measure one side or the other. This side here is 18 thou, and the other side is 30 thou, which gives us an average of 24 thou protrusion. I want to end up with 12, so we've got to take 12 thou off the surface of these. So that's ideal. I've checked number 4 and number 1, both exactly the same, which is perfect. And over here, guys, I'm doing the usual and machining the valve cutouts in the pistons before I take it off the top. So again, showed you this a load of times before. We've got 5mm deep cutouts, and then all I've got to do is whip the 12 thou off the top. Job's a good one. If we start getting to the point where we're taking 1/2 mil off the top, I normally start taking it out the bowl, but no need with 12 thou. There's plenty of meat left on the cylinder head, so we're still going to be ending up with just over 8:1, which is absolutely ideal for this. So that's what I'm doing now, guys. The Kevin's block is there on the hone now. I'm just going to hone that out today. Hopefully get that cleaned up later on today, and then that is a short motor build which we're going to get done next week. Now John is off all of next week, so he's just finishing a couple of jobs that he's got to get done, which is great. Isaac's in, but he's off next Friday, so hopefully I'm going to have Paul in for a day or two next week to help me out. So I just want to get as far as I can with these Cosy blocks, because I've got another couple of engines coming in soon. Sorry about the racket there. John's just trying to get some heater plugs out of a cylinder head, which is one of his favourite jobs. Not. So, yeah, all going on. I'm sorry for anyone that is getting a little bit fed up with the Cosworths, but that's what we sort of specialise in, guys. So we've always got the Cossies on the go. But if for all of you that are interested in the Cossies, yeah, you'll like this video, I suppose. So just a little bit of a change from the Cosworths. The Series 1 Land Rover here, Isaac is really cracking on with this. So you can see there he's got all the timing done. So he's really cracking on with the bottom end, just methodically going through it. You know what it's like. It's an absolute nightmare when you've left an engine so long that you sort of can't remember where all the bits go, and that's probably what he's going through, bless him. But it shouldn't be too long now and this one's together, but he's had to drop this one because, staying on the subject of Series 1 Land Rovers, we've got this one back from Craddock's. So this is the one for Devon 4x4 that we've got to change the cam bearings in. Unfortunately, it's not a great deal of work to do this. Obviously, because they're a fully finished bearing that goes in there, we can leave the cylinder head on. We've had to take the front cover off and obviously the timing gear. And what Isaac is doing is, to get the camshaft out, we've got to get the rocker assembly out. So he's took the plug out the end. We can, all these are loose, we slacken all the clearances off. We can slide the rocker shaft out, and then we can get the cam out and the cam bearing. So obviously you've got little lock nuts or bolts that go in here and lock the bearings in position. So you remove all those, and once we've got that shaft out, the cam and all the bearings should slide out, which is absolutely perfect. So hopefully, fingers crossed, guys, we can get this done today, if not latest Monday, and get this on its way to Devon 4x4. And all that scenario with the customer threatening sort of court proceedings can just go away, and everyone's happy, which is exactly what we want. Right then, guys, there you can see, apart from the sump and the oil pump, the bottom end is pretty much done on this Cosworth. You can see now we've refaced the top of the pistons, put our cutouts in, everything looking really nice. And if we turn it over, you can see we haven't put our oil jets in yet because I need to just sort of dummy them up and make sure that we've got the correct clearance, etc., and point on where we're going to be putting them, obviously to make good clearance for the rods. But yeah, all torqued up, all turns absolutely freely, lovely, done our clearances, checked the clearances, and all is good. And this is going to be a fairly powerful motor, this one. So basically with the oil jets, like I've said, what we do then is we run it's a pretty, they call it a WRC oil pump, but what it is really is a high pressure Pinto pump in effect. It's got the two-wheel drive setup on here, so you've got the offset holes to the main oil hole. The difference being with the four-wheel drive is the holes are in line, so if you try and fit a four-wheel drive pickup, as this one is, onto a two-wheel drive pump, the holes are not going to line up, and vice versa. So because we're running one of these, obviously the differences with these, it's got an aftermarket sort of just a flat plain cap on the top of the pump, as opposed to the original two-wheel drive one, which has got the outlet for the spray jets, the oil spray bar. So because we're using this pump and we've got the jets in the base there, we've got to change the oil pickup pipe because this one obviously won't fit on the two-wheel drive. Now, bit of a problem because these are getting very hard to find. So the ones you use are either a two-wheel drive pump. The Pinto is slightly different, so that doesn't fit, believe it or not. Whether they've done that on purpose because it's a Cosworth, I don't know. But you use a two-wheel drive one, and we do away with the existing spray jet bar that is basically brazed onto that pickup, or we use a later small turbo Escort Cosworth pickup pipe, which is basically the same thing, this without the spray bar jet, but trying to find one of them is actually non-existent. So what we're going to do, we've managed to get a two-wheel drive pickup pipe off Paul. Now Paul is one of the duo, Paul and Pete, the one we're waiting for the normally aspirated 205 block to come back from stitching. So Paul, fortunately, has got a good stash of Cosworth parts, and he managed to find one two-wheel drive pickup pipe. So what I'm going to do is do away with the spray bar jet, clean the sump up. We can get that on probably Monday now with the sump, and the bottom end is complete. So thank you very much, Paul. You're a legend. So that is it, guys, for today's video, unfortunately. Again, thank you very, very much for all your support with everything, and your kind suggestions, and very useful suggestions, actually, on which way you think I should go with the business and the channel, etc. Really helpful, and I really appreciate all your communication with me. So yeah, that's it for another one, guys. But just before we go, I just want to tell you, very exciting times. Next week, at some point, I'm going to be putting into a video something to do with the picture that I'm just about to put up now. And what I want you to do, just a bit of homework for you over the weekend, have a look at this picture, and please just tell me any suggestions you've got as to why this damage could occur on this piston, okay? Just going to leave it at that for a moment, guys, but fairly excited about next week. So until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. Take it easy, guys.